Hey guys, welcome to the Final Whistle podcast, game week 25. Loads of action in this one. A couple of goalkeeping assists. I'll ask Ben which one he preferred. And we've discovered Manchester United without Ahmad are bad. And Liverpool just sneak it again and make it 7 points clear up top. It's been an eventful game week 25, and we're going to get into the nitty gritty of the action. Ben, welcome back.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. It's been frustrating at times, and obviously we managed to get over the line in the end as well. So that always helps. But yeah, not a boring weekend, but I think it's been a bit cagey to be honest.
Yeah, it's been quite predictable in some aspects. But let's go to Anfield first with the league leaders and, of course, Liverpool, because that's our little bit of an agenda. Liverpool 2, Wolves 1. What did you make of this? Because obviously, Slot spoke about Gakpo being out, so it was Diaz and Jota up top with Mo Salah and Szoboszlai. That was the attacking formation. I mean, that performance left me a little bit speechless. Not in a good way.
Yeah, it wasn't one that was good for the nerves. I would say. Yeah, I thought first half it was fine. I thought the atmosphere. I mean, I'm talking about through the telly, so it's hard to kind of gauge. But I thought the atmosphere was really weird.
I'm glad you went there.
Um, and it was a bit frustrating. I don't know. I don't know whether people were still a bit scarred from Wednesday, maybe, but yeah, I don't think that helped. But I think first half it was good enough. Obviously, we 2-0 up, so we can't complain too much. But I thought second half was rubbish, to be honest.
Yeah, and when you kind of look back as well, hindsight is a real wonderful thing, because had that ball not hit like Diaz in the body and him winning
Yeah,
that penalty, and obviously I know Mo Salah scored and it was ruled offside, but I just feel like, I don't know what it is, but they just look really tired. They look really fatigued, and I feel like, I don't know whether nerves are creeping in at this time of the season now, which is to be expected. But that whole Arne Slot thing of closing down games is really, really missing at the moment. And when the injury board went up for 6 minutes, like my anxiety got triggered quite a fair bit.
yeah. I was a bit on edge, to be fair. And I do think, obviously, if that doesn't happen on Wednesday, where Everton score in the last minute, I don't think any of us are as maybe anxious or worried about it. But obviously, that's kind of in the back of your head. So yeah, it was a really interesting one. I didn't think it was going to be an easy game to begin with. I thought that, I know it was the easiest one out of this kind of 5 game run, but it was never going to be plain and simple, especially with the amount of football that we're playing at the minute. Um, but yeah, I just feel like the crowd. I think we've only got 6 or 7 home games left. If the players are starting to be fatigued, it's kind of on us to give them that extra edge.
I completely agree with you, right? Because I think the fans have a responsibility as well. You're at the game, you want the team to win a league, do your part. Like, it was really quiet. I picked up that on the television as well. It was really it's quite actually alarming. It just felt like, I don't know, it just, they just did not seem up for it. And given what's at stake here as well, and like, I thought there'd be a bit more fire from the supporters as well. Um you're right about Wolves, though. I felt like they were a really tough opposition at the beginning of the season as well. We were lucky. I
Yeah,
think 2-1 there as well. I think it was a penalty that we won. We seem to get a lot of penalties against them. But I mean, were there any kind of, like, if you had to, was there a standout performer? Is there anything that's kind of concerning to you? What kind of, I found quite stark about this one for me, 2 games back to back, like Gravenberch wasn't quite good. And no slight on him. I just feel like we need a defensive midfielder, like an actual one, because I feel like the defense wasn't really getting an awful lot of protection in this game.
yeah. I felt Robertson was a bit poor, to be honest. If we're picking out players, maybe I don't know if you saw his positioning for the chance that they had where Quansah has to slide in. He's about 5 yards behind the rest of the defense, playing everyone on side, and it's not good. But I thought standout performance. I thought Endo and Quansah were both good when they came on. Obviously, Szoboszlai, given the effort that he always does. I thought Diaz was good, but I'm guessing that substitution was more kind of resting, looking towards Wednesday. And to be honest, I know it's so easy to kind of pick on him, but I thought Nunes offered nothing when he came on. There was
I
kind of no
completely
outlet
agree
there
with
at
you.
all.
He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. You're not wrong, and I think it's you've got to call a player for each performance, and he was. We might have been 10 men down, no threat.
Yeah, I thought it was very frustrating, and the ball just kept on coming straight back. So
But you know what? I'll give them credit. They were 5 points behind, a lot of pressure on that game, and they kind of saw it over the line. I guess you got to focus on the positives, right? It wasn't an easy watch, but it was a job done.
yeah, I was listening to David Lynch after the game, and he's really good for kind of talking sense into the situation. And he kind of said, you know, you're going to have these performances in the middle of a title race where things don't go your way, and you've just got to battle to the 3 points, and that's what we've done. So can't really complain too much.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Ben, how ugly would you rate that performance? 10 being absolutely hideous.
Um, an 8 maybe. I
Yeah,
think.
solid
I mean, we didn't have
8.
a single shot. Didn't have a single shot in the second half. I don't think so. I think that's the first time that's happened at Anfield since records started being recorded. I saw earlier. So yeah, it wasn't a pretty watch.
No, it was not indeed. Right, let's talk about the title contenders. I think we lost Ben there for a second. He should be back. Right, okay, so I think we're having some technical difficulties with Ben. I will continue. Leicester 0, Arsenal 2. I think a lot of us were watching this one, hoping, something would happen with Leicester, given the fact that they are kind of a struggling team and they might have some fight in them. And I'd say they had an array of chances, and they kind of failed to kind of put the ball in the back of the net. And Ranieri was really, really good and promising for Arsenal. Given the fact that they didn't have a striker, I thought this was the perfect opportunity. But Mikel Arteta brings on his namesake, Mikel Merino, and scores 2 goals and just puts the game past them. It was quite frustrating from a Liverpool supporter perspective. Great if you're an Arsenal fan. Although the fact that they have got a lot of injuries and they don't really have a striker now is a bit of a concern for them, given that it is a little bit of a crunch time at the moment. So yeah, things aren't looking great for Leicester City either. Sacking the manager, bringing in Ruud van Nistelrooy, and it looks like they look dead certain to kind of go down. And again, their attackers, Ayew and Vardy, just look really old and laboured. And yeah, I think it's a pretty much a full drawn conclusion with them and the likes of Southampton, in my opinion. Anyway, it's just not looking overly great. With regards to Arsenal, I think they're still applying the pressure. They're still doing what they need to do, and I think those were huge 3 points from them. And again, it was like a signal of, I would say, confidence and self belief. Given the fact that they don't have strikers, they kind of needed that performance, and they got it. Frustrating for us as Liverpool supporters, but great for them. Obviously, I think we still have lost Ben, so I'm just going to freestyle and keep talking till he's back with us. I mean, if anyone's got any thoughts or comments, do let us know your thoughts on the fixtures and the games. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll move on now. We shall move on and we shall talk about Manchester City. Oh, this one was a good one. Man City 4, Newcastle 0. Now, I wanted this one to be the 5:30 kickoff. I thought it'd be a lot closer. Let's hang on. We have a comment here. Let's bring it up. Why do we have to make things so hard for ourselves? Because you know what? We like a challenge. It's me, Everest. We do. Your name says it all. We like to climb an uphill mountain. But yeah, let's move on now, and we'll move on to Manchester City. Manchester City 4, Liverpool, Newcastle 0. Sorry, you've thrown me off guard there. So I thought this would be a lot closer. I thought it'd be the 5:30 kickoff as well. Have Man City announced a brand new? Welcome back, Ben. I have to freestyle. I've just spoke about Arsenal, so do you want to say something about Arsenal?
Nah, it's all right. We'll just keep on going. Don't really want to talk about them.
I guess a huge, massive 3 points considering they've not got a striker.
Yeah, I'll give them that. But one thing that I do find interesting about that is like Havertz isn't really a striker anyway, so I think they will adapt to it quite all right. Everyone's acting like it's going to be the end of the season, but it's not. I mean, they've probably been playing without a striker all season.
I think just like a man up top, but Mika Moreno came on. But we've spoke about that. Let's move on. We were just about to speak about Manchester City 4, Newcastle 0. I wanted this one to be the 5:30 kickoff. I thought this would be a lot closer than what it was. Talk to me about this one, because have Man City got their very own Egyptian royalty?
It's an annoying one. I was talking to my friend about it, and obviously he was linked with Liverpool for so long, and I hyped him up so much because I'm a big fan of him, and now I'm like, so seeing him in Man City colours, and I'm not like going back my word, but I think he would have been perfect for us. I am a bit jealous of that one.
Yes.
But yeah, he's absolutely flying at Man City. He just seems to finish everything as well.
That's what kind of really got me frustrated with some of our attackers. Everything that he touches seems to find the back of the net. What a goal, like, to announce yourself, right? In a sense of, like, that is his first Man City goal. Ederson got the assist. The way he like just chips Dubravka, like, and obviously like makes a mug out of Trippier along the way. But yeah, everything that he kind of touches kind of turned to gold. But whilst I've got you here, Ederson got an assist and Verbruggen got an assist for the Mitoma goal. Putting you on the spot, which one did you prefer more, Ben? I think we're having more technical issues with Ben here. So what I'll do is I'll carry on speaking. I'll give my thoughts. Technically, I think the Mitoma goal was better. He had more work to do. But if I'm a striker and I'm just going to announce myself, I think just kind of like just lobbing it over the keeper is just a fantastic way to kind of announce yourself. I think we have Ben back again.
It's really getting on my nerves now.
Yeah, Ben, I was just asking you which goalkeeping assist did you prefer more, the Verbruggen one for Mitoma, or did you prefer the Ederson for Marmoush?
Mitoma all day. I thought that goal was absolutely sensational. To be fair, to be fair, it's more from Mitoma than the keeper. Like, but the touch and then obviously to get out of his feet like that and then the finish. Yeah, you'll struggle to see more like kind of. I don't know. You don't really see players with that sort of flair anymore, and the kind of mix of flair and end product was just amazing to see.
Yeah, you kind of missed my answer. I said he had more work to do, and technically it was better. But if I was a striker and I'm about to announce myself, just lobbing the keeper is just like exactly what I'd like to, just chipping it over him and like So yeah, I think the comments in there as well. It's me. Everest says he prefers Mitoma deserves more praise, but I was really disappointed with Newcastle in this one. Joelinton was a massive miss for them because I felt like the midfield battle they massively lost. But Man City. I was really intrigued. I know they were 3-0 up, but I was intrigued to see whether they can close out this game. And it's literally the worst time for them to look so clinical and so cutthroat, given the fact that we play them next Sunday.
Yeah, it would be just our luck for them to kind of play into form again. But they've got Real Madrid away on Wednesday, so maybe that could shoot their confidence a little bit again. But yeah, I like to think our midfield would deal with the problems that Newcastle had yesterday a bit more. I mean, Bruno G looks like he's absolutely knackered at the minute, and there's some Newcastle fans stressing about kind of their form and fitness, obviously with the final a month today, I think, so against us. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm looking forward to the Man City game. I think if we're clinical, I think we can beat them.
Let's bring it. Let's hope our strikers are clinical, and yes, we will definitely need that. Ben, what game next?
Let's go with we'll do Spurs Man United quickly.
All right then. Oh gosh. What did you make of this one?
It was an interesting one. It felt like a real, well, I mean, it was kind of like a clash between two teams at the bottom of the table. That's kind of what it felt like. Neither really defending to. I mean, the midfield was pretty much non-existent for both teams. I thought it was kind of just like a basketball game.
Yeah, big spaces.
Yeah, I think United will be disappointed that they didn't get a goal against that Tottenham defence and midfield. The amount of times, I mean, Xerxes. To be fair, I thought Xerxes and Højlund were a handful, but that's obviously not good enough. You need to stick the ball in the net, and they just couldn't seem to do it.
I'll be honest with you, I was actually, if I'm a United fan, I'd be really frustrated with Højlund. Xerxes was actually working quite hard, but for me, Højlund, again, it just seemed like he was an empty shirt kind of performance. And, it was just, I guess it must have been really, really frustrating to watch from that perspective. And Garnacho obviously having like all the handful of chances. I'm just sat here as a Liverpool supporter, and we've seen some dark days, and I'm just intrigued, and I'm thinking, what era of the dark days of Liverpool have United descended in now? Because these are tough times for them. Let's be brutally honest. I mean, like even their goalkeeper was absolutely shocking. The way he kind of like tried parrying that shot away, and obviously Maddison got on the end of it. Like it's just those kind of moments. The clearance to Dorgu, and he completely he threw the ball to him, and it was such a stupid throw, and I think a player kind of almost challenged him for it, and it's just like I don't think he switched on, and I feel like he creates a lot of anxiety. And you and I have spoken about this a lot, Ben. And I just feel like there is a lot of work to do. And I couldn't see them scoring a goal. They had all those chances, but I was like, I can't see them doing it.
Yeah, there's no kind of clear chances, to be fair. And I think with Onana as well, like I keep on seeing Man United fans saying like, "Where's Onana that was at Ajax and at Inter Milan?" But he still had those moments in him. Then I think people think he was some perfect keeper before he came to Man United. He wasn't. I mean, I remember we played Ajax. It was about 2021, where I don't know if you remember, there was a cross went in, and he was in goal, and he left it, and Curtis Jones just tapped it in at the back post. And he's had a few howlers against us, so yeah, I don't know. If you're a defender, you hate having him behind you. It just affects the whole confidence of the defense and even the way you play out from the back as well. So yeah, there's just no real positives for them at the minute, and
all the injuries as well.
Yeah, I mean the bench today. I think there was Lindelof who was 30, and then every other player was 18 or under. I think.
But Amorim only made one sub. He only brought that kid on. That was the only sub that he made. And obviously those players, when you sat there, you're like thinking, well, no one's really going to challenge me. Look at that bench. And they were just allowed to kind of descend into more and more nothingness and rubbish. But yeah, it's a really big, if I'm a United fan, I'd be absolutely seething at that one. Yes, not good at all. And I can't believe that those two are like pretty much 14th and 15th or whatever they are. It's quite actually shocking actually how the tables have completely turned. But a huge point, a huge 3 points for Spurs. Give them credit there, I suppose, where it's due. They needed that win. Where to next, Ben?
Let's do Southampton Bournemouth. That was quite a fun game, I guess.
You know what? I'm gonna let you talk about this one, but Southampton's XG is going up and they're having shots on target, so we are seeing some positives.
Yeah, slowly but surely they might win a game by the end of the season, maybe.
Bournemouth, though, they are such a joy to watch.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I think they got too comfortable, and I think that's what kind of led to them conceding that goal. I mean, they were so in complete control, and then they were kind of starting to lose out on a few of the duels, and the goal kind of came from nowhere. But then they turned it back on instantly, and I mean, Semenyo was taking the mick all game, and then Tavernier finishes off with a great goal as well. But I mean, they're genuinely in with a chance of getting Champions League football next season, especially if England get that fifth kind of European spot. There's no reason why Bournemouth don't do it.
No, absolutely. Shout out to Ramsdale as well. He did have a couple of crucial big saves in that game as well. So we'll give him credit there. But yeah, I would love to see Bournemouth in the Champions League. I can't lie. I just want it to be like a proper hipster season of Champions League football. And with the way the new format is now as well, I feel like there's a bit of a lifeline for those kind of teams. We've seen it with some of the Ligue 1 teams, so maybe like the Premier League teams can do something. I think Forest will probably, obviously, are looking for that Champions League spot as well, and obviously they are third right now. But yeah, Bournemouth, really, really impressive stuff again. Ben, I think we should talk about Crystal Palace 1, Everton 2.
I didn't really catch much of this game, to be fair. I was out, and to be honest, I looked at that. I saw that was a half-5 game, and I thought it's not really worth even finding somewhere with the game on, because I thought it was going to be a really boring game. But I mean, I don't know how Everton keep on scraping these results with the lineup that they have out as well, with Ndiaye injured and stuff. I thought I had 0-0 wrote all over it, but yeah, it's a huge win for Everton. I think it pretty much guarantees their safety now. So, I mean, you've got to give credit to David Moyes, I guess.
You do, absolutely. And I was like you as well. I looked at that, I was like, why is that the 5:30 kickoff? I'm seething at that one because I hate talking about a boring 5:30 kickoff. And, Crystal Palace, fairness to them, they started off the first half really, really well. Beto gets the goal against the runner play, and you're like thinking, where's that come from? Mateta scores early in the second half. And then it kind of descends into, Ben, a bit of like a basketball game where they're both just hitting each other on the break. And then Alcaraz gets a goal, and you're like thinking your XG so low. I still think Crystal Palace were the better team. I can't believe you did that. You're so jammy. But hold on a second. I should know better because you pulled a dirty one on Liverpool.
Yeah. I think that might have been half me thinking as well. I don't think I'm over Wednesday yet. Even after today's win, I don't think I'm over Wednesday yet.
At a protest, Ben is no longer watching Everton games. He's boycotted them. He's done with them. To be fair, I think, before this little resurgence, I think a lot of Everton fans were probably doing the same as well. Right, Ben, so we spoke about Liverpool's bitter neighbours. Where to next?
Let's talk about Villa Ipswich, because this was another weird game.
I saw the red card. First of all, let's talk about Palmer, the goalkeeper that comes in. I thought he had a really good performance.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about him, but I mean, what a performance! I mean, I don't know whether you saw the save. It was where Rashford goes down the left and cuts it across, and he I don't know how to describe it. He jumps backwards and claws it away out for a corner, and yeah, I don't know how Villa didn't win, to be honest. And I think that's Champions League hopes pretty much done for now. I think they've fallen a bit too far behind, and you're seeing some Man City kind of picking up points, and yeah, I think they're going to have to work out again now.
Unless they win it.
Unless they win it. Yeah. Forgive me.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say that was a massive point for Ipswich, because obviously Tuanzebe gets sent off. He gets 2 yellows. I thought the first yellow was harsh. I think Match of the Day touched on that as well. And I think they were right where if you're on a yellow, don't do what he did for the second. Does that make sense? Be a bit cautious for Tuanzebe. But yeah, I think that's a big point for Ipswich. I think Villa will be kicking themselves. But I have to say, Rashford looked quite sharp.
It looks like a completely different player. The way he's taken on players, I wouldn't surprise me if he completed more take-ons yesterday than what he has all season when he was at Man United. I think Asensio looks really tidy as well. I wasn't too sure on him coming, and I thought it was a bit of a Coutinho signing again for them, but he seems like a tidy player as well. So it's just more depth for them, and obviously Marlon's looked a bit of a threat as well when he's played. So they might turn it around. They might go on a good run towards the end of the season and sneak in there, but I just struggle to see it.
Let's watch this space, and let's hope they're a bit off the boil on Wednesday. Let's move on now, Ben. I think we've got to talk about Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Oof. Forest.
Yeah.
Losing.
Yeah. I mean, last time they lost, they won 7-0 after, so I wouldn't be too worried if I was them. But I thought Fulham were brilliant. I thought Adama Traore was a bit of a throwback to kind of 2019-20 Adama Traore, where just nobody could even get close to him. I don't know whether he's been putting that baby oil on his arms again. I don't know. But yeah, Fulham were brilliant. And I think they have been all season. I feel like they've kind of went under the radar purely because of just how good Forest and Bournemouth have been this season.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one. And I love the fact that you kind of give a little shout out to baby oil Traore and his arms there. I also like the fact that he had I find, obviously you'll know this as well, I think we all know this, Nottingham Forest are a bit of a physical side. And I
Yeah.
felt like he was really going toe to toe with their defender. Certainly, I think it's Murillo. I saw him like kind of barge past him and push him, and it was a really fantastic. I felt I was watching the City game. If I was watching the City game, I think I would have liked to watch this one. It looked like a really good game
Yeah.
of football.
Yeah. It was a good game, and I think this is kind of one that kind of shows the competitive nature of the league this season, where everyone is kind of beating everyone. And I mean, Chris Wood again, by the way. I mean, he gets so lucky with the first touch for the goal, where it kind of just bounces off him, and then turns and just curls in effort in with. I'm pretty sure it's his weak foot as well. Finds the bottom corner. He's just having one of those scenes where everything's just kind of falling into place for him.
Yeah, and obviously Smith Rowe getting the lead for Fulham, and then Wood equalising, and then Bassey of all players getting the winner. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Right, Ben, where to next? We've only got a few more games left. Just a couple, actually.
Yeah, let's do West Ham Brentford, I guess.
Oh, let's talk about this one. It's not looking good for Graham Potter. It finished West Ham 0, Brentford 1.
Yeah, I think West Ham fans are going to be pulling their hair out at this. Obviously, they got rid of Lopetegui, and at first everyone was quite excited by Potter, and I do kind of want Potter to do well, but I don't know. I just don't get. I can't wrap my head around having the attacking talent that they have and being so blunt going forward all season long. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it.
But I think in the first half, I think the scoreline really kind of flattered West Ham, because Brentford
Yeah.
had the chance. They had a few goals ruled offside as well. I think it was Whistler. Shada got the early goal. I think it was 4 minutes in. That whole trend about Brentford getting an early goal, but they scored early ones and this one. But yeah, I felt like, Brentford could have done a lot of damage to him, a lot more. I felt like in the second half, and I think Potter alluded to this as well, where they improved significantly in the second half. And I think they had like a majority of their team back. The likes of Bowen was there, Kudus was there, Paqueta was playing. It wasn't like they were a depleted side or squad. I just think maybe it's going to take a little bit of time on the Potter. But yeah, that's that one done. Right, Ben, we're in a fortunate position. We're covering all the teams this week. There's no Monday night football, so there was Friday night football though, and I kind of enjoyed it, Ben. It was quite nice to have a bit of football on a Friday evening, and it was Brighton versus Chelsea. Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. I mean, for me, Chelsea were just muck all the way.
Yeah, I thought this was a brilliant game to have on a Friday night, by the way. This is like, if you asked what kind of game you want on a Friday night, I think this is kind of the ideal one. It's a huge win for Brighton as well. I mean, Chelsea were defensively, I mean, they look back to what they were at the start of the season. But Brighton, I mean, they've had a tricky run of results, and to smash Chelsea, which they have like a weird rivalry with at the minute, because obviously the whole Caicedo thing, I think, kind of is still kind of there between the two fans. But
yeah, as well, right? So the few to them, and also they lost Sanchez to them as well. But
obviously Potter,
for Jorgensen. So yeah, still not great for that keeper as well. But obviously we spoke about Mitoma's goal, which was absolutely fantastic. And then of course Minter getting a couple of goals, but I felt like just Chelsea were just off it. And I have a stat for you. This is so shocking. I know they don't have strikers, Ben, but they still have a lot of attacking players. 0 shots on target by Chelsea.
It's so strange, because especially with the way Palmer started the season, I feel like he's gone under the radar for how much he's run off the boil as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know he can't single-handedly do it all season, but I mean, to think that there was people saying that Palmer's the best player in this league literally only like a month or two ago. Above Salah, people were even saying this is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it's madness. It is absolutely madness. And I feel like maybe people like him and Foden get a bit of a free pass, in my opinion.
Yeah. I do think. I think Maresca's in a tough situation because of how young the squad is, and kind of everyone's kind of, we're building towards something, but the past couple of months have been dreadful for them, like so bad. I'm pretty sure they've only won 2 of the last 13, 12 Premier League games or something.
I think things start going sideways for them after they lost to Fulham on Boxing Day. Like that's when I noticed that because that was when they were talked up.
Yeah, it wasn't. They were talked up to be in a title race, and I remember I think with Everton away before Christmas, and it was like a run of 5 games where they're all really winnable games, and they're like, well, that's 15 points, so we're going to be in a title race after Christmas, and then I don't think they've won any of them. So yeah, it's not even as if they've had a horrible run of games. I don't know. I think Chelsea fans will be really, really frustrated by that.
I think so too. Right, Ben, I think we've spoke about everyone. Liverpool do have a game on Wednesday. They've got to play Aston Villa. Let's see what happens. But that's been game week 25. Any final takeaways from you, Ben, that you kind of want to get off your chest? Did anyone wind you up? Did anything, annoy you or irritate you? This is your closure time.
I'll tell you what annoys me. Have you seen Mourinho's celebration for Arsenal, where he runs around the corner flag, and then
I did, and he dedicated it to his wife, the goals, because it's Valentine's Day. I wanted to just puke everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that makes it even more fitting. But just the celebration itself is possibly the worst celebration I've ever seen. It really cringes me out. But that context added just further backs up my point. So yeah, I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your worst ever celebration. What's your favorite ever? Like, what was your favorite celebration?
One that comes to mind that just always makes me laugh is Adebayor. When he runs the length of the pitch and knee slides. I mean, I know I'm saying that after the way Doucouré went on against our fans on Wednesday, and I hated that. But I think when it's someone else's club, you can kind of laugh at it.
I get that. I think for me, one of the iconic celebrations, it's nothing great, but I still love Alan Shearer's, just the hand up and just running. There's nothing to it, but it was just so synonymous with him, if that makes sense. It was just like the most boring vanilla celebration, but it was Alan Shearer's. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. I guess people probably say Robbie Fowler's now. There's loads. Yeah, someone actually said Robbie Fowler's snorting grass.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna come up. Brilliant stuff.
That is the right answer, by the way. I don't know how I forgot that, but that is the right answer.
Absolutely. So I knew a Liverpool one was going to come up. Right, guys, that is us with the Final Whistle podcast. Ben, before I let you go, where can people find you on social media, and is there anything you'd like to plug?
So just Ben Pescott Journal on Twitter. You'll find all my work for both Anfield Index and EPL Index. So obviously with Liverpool playing on Wednesday, there'll be loads of stuff in the build up to that that you can keep an eye out for. So yeah, just check out the Twitter, and that's where everything will be.
Do give him a follow. Do check out his work. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us on the live streams as well. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next weekend, hopefully with more great football. 3 points for Liverpool potentially. And and better internet connection, because it's been a bit of a technical challenge, but we got there. But guys, thank you so much for listening. Take care. We'll catch you soon.